morning, everybody. I didn't know what I was going to be talking about, and I asked my PR person this morning, what am I talking about? She said, well, anything you want to. I said, okay. Because my favorite topic and the most intractable problem in the world for me and for millions of other men is how do you distinguish between a Bangkok girly boy and a real woman? For some people it's not an issue, maybe. For others it might be. So, however, she said, no, that's too political. We have no clue what the Donald Trump administration is going to do in relation to Thailand. So, we avoid political topics. Bitcoin. There's been a lot of talk recently about China and China's moves to, in some people's minds, crack down on Bitcoin, and I think in the right people's minds, provide a great deal of legitimacy. My first wife was Chinese. When I met her, she spoke very little English. I spoke absolutely no Chinese. When we left, I was completely fluent in curse words in both Cantonese and Mandarin. And that was about all I got out of that relationship. I did keynote the Chinese National Security Conference in Beijing in August. Some 7,000 people, the largest group I've ever spoken to, where I met Ji Hongwu, the CEO of Bitmain, and a whole bunch of other very important people. The Chinese are way too smart not to know that some cryptocurrency is going to become the world standard. I mean, this is a fact. The Pandora's box has been opened. It will never get closed. You will never get altcoins back into that box, no matter how governments may complain, no matter how scary it may be for collecting taxes. The world is going to change. The Chinese know this. And the Chinese virtually are in control of Bitcoin now. So they are not going to kill their prodigal child, not the one that's going to bring them in the future great control and power in the world. So believe me, what China has done is added legitimacy. It's taken away much of the underbelly, the darkness, the Bitcoins on the dark web. This aspect which puts people off. So, in my opinion, I don't know why the price went from $1,100 to $770 suddenly. It should have gone up by a factor of 2, and it will. The world will catch up. My company, MGT, what we do, we're I think the leading cybersecurity company in the world, only because I'm leading. 10 years ago, I said that the current paradigm of protection, which is antivirus software and everything that branches off from that, is non-functional. And it clearly is non-functional. I mean, just look at all of the hacks that we've had. Office of Personnel Management, a 15-year-old boy took from the FBI 30,000 records of every undercover agent and published them on the dark web. Now, all of these companies and agencies are protected by the most up-to-date software. It just doesn't work anymore. But that's an aside. We are also in the Bitcoin business. We have 5 petahash that we're running in the state of Washington. By mid-March, that will be 40 petahash. We've cut a deal with Bitmain to create what we think is going to be the world's largest pool, oddly enough called the McAfee pool. And that's going to be running in the state of Washington. So we're heavily into Bitcoin. Now why? Why would a security company be in Bitcoin? Well, for the obvious reason that the blockchain is now being applied to every aspect of cybersecurity. And at some point, Bitcoin mining, obviously, in 10 years, there are going to be about 5 coins left. That cannot possibly be a business model. But those companies that are leaders in the mining field will become the transaction processors, because every company in the world, at some point, is going to have every transaction, every packet that's transmitted on every network, part of the blockchain. Why? Because it's the only way to guarantee that you don't have a hacker in your system or that you don't have a rogue employee. Even individuals, I don't know if you consider what's happening with the Internet of Things. Your own home is going to become a very complex network. You might come home one day and your key no longer works through to your house, and the police arrest you for doing a DDoS attack on your neighbor. And just, if you've been putting everything in a blockchain, you unwind all this and find out that the refrigerator became friends with the thermostat, and they decided to kick your ass out, and it was the washing machine that did the DDoS attack. Don't laugh about that, because seriously, when the DYM hack, which brought down half of the internet in America, you know who did that? CCTV cameras and refrigerators, all over the world. So the Internet of Things is going to be a big thing. But these are also societies. What I really want to talk about are two things. Why is the Bitcoin field so small? Why are there so few users considering the power and the utility? And the second thing is the absolute foolishness of having software wallets. Being in the security field, I go out of my way to get detections on everything that I have, my laptops, my phones. The easiest way to do it is to visit any porn site in the world. Now, seriously. And periodically I'll log on to Xhamster, Pornhub, and so on and so forth. And a month and a half ago, there are thousands of people who pay Pornhub to, when you log on, you get a little screen that goes, you have a virus, click this button within 30 seconds or whatever. Well, half of you idiots actually push the button.
Yeah.
What you do is you just get rid of the page, exit the page, and get on with your life. But I don't. I actually click the button because I want to get infected, because I want to know what the latest software is that we have to fight and how they're actually doing it. So when that thing first appeared, it was about 2.5 months ago. It was one of these flashing things. You've got a virus. Click this button now within 90 seconds or whatever. Well, I clicked the button. The next day, 5 of my Bitcoin wallets were emptied. Now, I have every wallet in the world for almost every currency. Why? Because I'm looking at companies that do exchanges, exchanging Bitcoin for Moneros and Moneros for Ethereums and so on and so forth. So I'm always testing these things. The only wallet that did not disappear was Mycelium. And people, you're like, Mycelium, don't clap yet, okay? Because, but oddly enough, nothing was taken out of Mycelium. 3 days later, I go into Mycelium to do a transfer into Ethereum, and half an hour later, my Mycelium wallet is gone. Why? Because here's what I forgot. Among things that were downloaded on my system were key locking software, and obviously screen capture. So Mycelium has a six-character code before you can actually proceed with the transaction. As soon as I type that code in, whoever's monitoring my phone now had my code for Mycelium, and it was empty. So this is unique because I go out of my way to get every piece of malware in the world. But if any of you have ever visited a porn site, I promise you, you have keystroke locking software on your phone, and possibly a screen capture as well. So what does that mean? That means that, let's say you've got a brand new wallet, and they say, here are your seed keys, please type them in. Well, whoever's in the phone also has your seed keys. This is the reality that we're living in. And I know people who keep hundreds of thousands of dollars in wallets on smartphones. That money will disappear one day, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. So we spend all of this time worrying about encryption, end-to-end encryption. That's all nonsense. The hackers are way ahead of us. There's no man in the middle anymore. No one's trying to listen to communication from one point to another. They're trying to get into your phone to become the master of that phone. Because in the Android system, there's only one phone that cannot be remotely rooted. That's, by the way, that's the first thing that happens when you go to a porn site. Your phone is now rooted. You just don't know it. Because there's remote rooting software. The only one that can't be done is the Samsung S7. And I'm hearing now rumors that even that one can be done. So phones are designed, all mobile devices are designed for what? To be spy devices. Why? Because they sell to marketers everything they can possibly find out about you. Your location. Are you close to a store? What did you last buy? Who are your friends? Whose friends are their friends? What are you saying in your emails and your text messages? read when you download an app the permissions that you've been giving out. So if a marketing app can do it, a hacker can do it. So if any of you have visited a porn site on any device, I promise you, someone's watching you, listening to you, and monitoring your keystrokes. And if you have a Bitcoin wallet or something of value on that phone, and they happen to be interested in it, it's going to disappear one day. I don't care whose wallet you use. And Mycelium, by the way, is a very secure wallet. But nothing can protect you against the man, not in the middle, but on top. The one whom you allow into your system by clicking. There's a virus in the system, click here to get rid of it. Or a notification shows up in your notification panel from Google. Password needs fixing or something. You click it. Don't do those things. You get an email from somebody you don't know, don't even open it. If you don't know them, you don't need to know them. And so even if you get emails from friends, and you know the friend, and the friend says, oh, I found an interesting link, click here, call that friend first before you click that link. Because it may not be your real friend, it may be someone spoofing their ID. So, excuse me a second. So wallets are going to be the big thing. Now, nothing seems to be happening, right? How do you know? I mean, I lost thousands of dollars on this one thing from Pornhub. Who do I report it to? The police? What do I go to? Is there some central agency where I can call up and say, hi, I'd like to report the fact that I downloaded some software and it wiped out all my Bitcoins? So no, we don't know about those things. And believe me, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And probably has happened to many thousands of people. And sometimes you don't even know why. I mean, I consider myself of average intelligence, and yet I have lost thousands of dollars in transactions by just transferring from Bitcoin to Ethereum using various companies. Why? Because you've got, it's late at night, it's 11 o'clock, I'm tired, I've had a glass of wine. So you have the send wallet, you have the intermediary wallet, and you've got the receive wallet. When you get one of those confused, your money ends up in limbo. Usually the company that does the exchanges, and they don't bother to tell you that you screwed up, because they don't know who you are. So we are losing money. And it is flowing into the hands of bad people, and we don't even know it. But I promise you this, that somebody, and probably someone who's paying porn